Hello and welcome. My name is Lexi Jong and here I like to talk about luxury beauty. Today we're going to be talking about the Sephora sale, and I have everything linked on my shop list that I'm talking about here today, along with notes on the products, my favorite shades, and things like that. So definitely check that out. I'll have the link to that down below in the description box. And again, if you are not participating in the Sephora sale, this is just a great shopping guide to some products I'd recommend regardless. Now, as for the Sephora sale, we have the SAVESPRING code. So SAVESPRING is our code. And from April 1st to the 11th, Rouge members have 20% off their purchase. From the 5th through the 11th, VIB has 15% off, and insiders get 10% off from the 7th through the 11th. So that's going to be our Sephora sale date range. And I've gone through the website by brand. So I've made my recommendations based off of what is available currently on the Sephora site. So there might be things from these brands that I would recommend that are not on the Sephora site right now. So just a heads up, this isn't totally just what I recommend from those brands. It's specific to Sephora. So let's go ahead and get started. Everything is done alphabetically by brand. So from Armani, I have 3 items I would recommend. And by the way, I am doing this based off of what is available on the Sephora website. So that doesn't mean necessarily when we're going through some of these brands that there might be items from those brands that I also like and would recommend, but they're not available at Sephora. So just a heads up if you are, going through this without taking, Sephora into account. This here is the Neo Nude Melting Color Blush. This one here is going to be shade 50. And this, I absolutely love this color. Let's just put it here. This has such a cool, silky, thin, creamy texture to it. And you can see this is called Cool Mauve. And it's a really soft mauve shade. Very silky, lightweight on the skin, looks great. And then we also have the Armani Lip Power. This is going to be in shade 104. I absolutely love the shape of these applicators. This teardrop shape makes it really easy to apply. And you can see it goes on sheerly, but you can build this up. Most of the colors in this line are going to be more like in the reds and berries. So there are a few lighter shades. This one is 104, one of the lightest. And it's just a really great everyday formula and color. In addition, this is one of the liquid lipsticks. So these are called the Lip Maestros. And they recently came out with a new like shimmery nudes collection. So this one here is going to be $532. I believe it's called Glow. These liquid lipsticks last so well, and these ones have shimmer or sparkle in them. All of the Lip Maestros are kind of gathered together on Sephora, so you'll have to look and see whether or not you're getting one with the sparkle or without. So just keep that in mind that there are different finishes there. There's just a slightly heavier swatch, but you can see that this one is kind of like a brownish berry shade with some shimmer. I think it's really beautiful on. Next, we have something from Beauty Blender. This is actually just a sample of the liquid cleanser, but I always use the solid bar cleanser in the black packaging, the Beauty Blender Cleanser Solid Pro. I use that to clean my brushes. It is the best brush soap that I have found. I don't use it for more delicate brushes like squirrel hair. I do use it for my goat, especially in synthetics. Anything that's like really dirty, that soap it makes it so much cleaner. So I really like my white bristles to still look white afterwards. And that is the best soap that I found for it. And I'm out. So I've been waiting for the sale. I've been using different things, waiting for the sale to get more of the soap. I know it's kind of silly because I use it so much. I should have just paid full price, but I decided to wait. But yes, so this is a sample of the liquid one. I have not tried the liquid one yet. I'm going to have to test that out and see whether or not I'm interested in that. But in general, I really love using the solid soap, swirl my brush in it, and I clean that. For more delicate brushes, I use a very dilute mix of the Dr. Bronner's Castile liquid soap. mixed with water in a foaming soap dispenser that I just bought from Target. So I use about 1/3 soap to 2/3 water, and that's what I'll use for my more delicate brushes. Next up, a couple items from Biossance, and I have to say, I think you can actually get a better deal from the Biossance website because they often do these great deals or great gifts with purchase and so forth. We can get a better percentage off than the Sephora 20% off even. So there are a couple things I would recommend from them. I love their Squalene and Omega Repair Cream. It's a basic moisturizer that I always have on hand. I actually always have a backup of that as well because it's just one of those go-tos, especially if your skin's like acting up and you need something that's gentle and more basic. That's it. That's what I go to. And, during the summer and stuff, I'll use it as a night cream. During the winter, I can use it during the day or night. So I would recommend that. And then their cleansing oil, that's what I use to remove my swatches. So I go through quite a bit of that, but I like that one because it's not very filmy. I have used it on my face. I like it on my face, but there are just others that I prefer for my face. So this is a little bit more expensive than my favorite one for my face, which is the Chanel L'Oeil. So I'll use the Chanel on my face, but I'll use this one on my arm because it's less expensive. So anyway, it really doesn't leave a residue. It doesn't sting my eyes when I use it, and it does a really good job of getting the swatches off. So the cleansing oil is really great. And then Bobbi Brown, they don't have a lot of Bobbi Brown items on the Sephora website, but one of the things I would recommend are the crushed oil glosses. So here is one of them. It's the crushed oil infused glosses. And this one here is called In the Buff. These are just a really great lip gloss. And I feel like people don't talk about them very much, but they have a nice, kind of like medium texture consistency to them. They're shiny. They perform just as well as more expensive lip glosses and so forth. They've got a great range of colors. I think they're just a really nice gloss. They're not sticky. So I would recommend the crushed oil glosses from Bobbi Brown. Christophe Robin, this has been the hair care brand that I've been using for the past couple of years. I do also have a discount code for their website if you are purchasing directly from their website. And I'll leave that linked down, or I'll leave that down below in the description box. I think it's just like Lexi25 perhaps, but the things that I really love from them are the regenerating hair mask, which used to come in the black packaging. They've changed the packaging recently. I use that as conditioner for my hair. I also love their sea salt mask for the hair. It's grainy and salty, and then when you start mixing it, it kind of like foams up into this lather. I have psoriasis on my scalp, so that's something that I really use to kind of help like deflake. It also really helps purify and cleanse the hair. So I'm somebody who I wash my hair usually. It's taken me a while to transition to every other day from every day, but I typically cannot skip 2 days before washing my hair. That usually is too much for me unless I have just used this. It will extend how long my hair lasts without getting greasy. So the sea salt mask is something I really like. I'm curious, they have a new mud mask, which I have not tried yet, but that is on my list to try. So Danessa Myricks, there are a few things I would definitely recommend from her line as well. The Color Fix products, if you're somebody who's looking for a cream product or something that just really sets and stays put on your lids, the Color Fix products really do a great job of that once you get those on, especially if you're looking for like sparkle. You can get like a clear translucent shade with sparkle in it that you can put on top of eyeshadow, and you're not getting a glittery mess on your face. There's no fallout because it's like completely encapsulated in the liquid, and it just sets, it dries, it stays. So I would definitely recommend those, especially for those of you who are looking for something sparkly without any fallout. It's incredible. You can also just put like a little dab on your hand and run like a liner brush in it for some liner as well. So this is one of my favorites. This one is Milky Way, and you can see, I would definitely always recommend putting it directly on a palette or your hand or something like that before using it because, squeeze tubes, they can be inconsistent. But look at this. I mean, you can have it really opaque. You can blend it out more. and then it's going to dry, it sets, and that glitter is not going anywhere. So those are fantastic. I also really like her chrome liners. So these are relatively new. They just recently came to the Sephora website a couple weeks ago, but these are multi-chrome liners. This one here is, I'm not sure how to say it, Carolite. So I have a hard time getting the shift here, but it's like blue and purple and a bit of bronze in there. And she has these really great light shades too, which really work well for the lower lash line. This one here is Rose Quartz. You can see it's like pink, a little bit of lavender and yellow. And it's just, they're stunning on the waterline, in my opinion. I absolutely love them. And let me just do one more here. This one is Emerald. And I actually broke the stick on this one when I was swatching it one day, but there you can see it goes bright green to like more of a blue green, and these are just really nice. Now these are thin, they're micro liners, so you can see it's a thin pencil point. Texturally, they're slightly creamier than the Chanel Stylo Yeux, so you can see these are going to be a little bit thicker, and texturally they're going to be similar, slightly creamier, but that's kind of the consistency that you're getting with those. Now I have to say these are small. There's not a ton of product in here. I'm not sure exactly how much off the top of my head because it seems to not be printed on here, but you know, it's not a really huge amount of product that you're getting in here. So just a little heads up, but I think they're really, really, really cool. All right, so this is it. I have used this one a few times, but that's pretty much the amount of product that you're getting in there. And next we have the new Yummy Skin products. So we've got the Glow Serum Primer. I have to say this is really nice. So I do like this. I would recommend this. The Yummy Skin Serum Foundation, I'm still sort of on the fence about. This is definitely full coverage. It's a little bit heavy. You can sheer it out and get lighter coverage. But otherwise it's kind of like dewy full coverage kind of foundation. So I don't love it, but it might fill the need for if you're looking for something like that, it's a good product. It's a little bit heavier than what I personally like to wear on a regular basis. However, I do like it, and she's got a great range of shades and it's refillable. So yeah, I would recommend it if you're looking for something along those lines. Moving on to Dior. So we have the new Dior Addict lipsticks. Now you can buy these in the black casing, and this retails for, I believe it's like $39. And you've got, you know, less plastic and everything used with this. You've got the Dior Addict. I believe the lip glow products also fit in here. Or you can buy a refill separately, and then you can buy the case separately. So, you know, there are 3 cases. This is the pink one. This is actually, you know, like a vegan patent leather. So I believe it's like lacquered vinyl. There's this metal one here, which is really more, again, like plastic or vinyl. And then this denim. The denim one is my favorite. The cases have been going in and out of stock on Sephora, like daily. So if you see it out of stock, definitely check again because they have been going in and out on a regular basis. Next, we have the Dior lip balms. So they've come out with these matte lip balms. This one here is 200 Terabella, which is one of the matte ones. You can see it goes on very sheerly, but you can also build it up for more color. And it's gonna be a sheer matte balm. I think these are, if you're looking for a matte lip balm, I think the Dior ones are the best, so I would recommend them. They also have satin versions. So this one is from the New Look collection that is no longer available, but here's the satin, and you can see it's gonna be a bit shinier, but again, you've got that sheerness that you can build up a little bit. It's still not gonna be as pigmented as a lipstick, but just to show you the packaging for these are going to come in the same packaging as the lipstick. So this one here is a lipstick, the Rouge Dior lipsticks, and these are all refillable as well. So you can actually pull these out. You can switch them around into different packaging. But just so you know, the lip balms and the Rouge Dior lipsticks are the same packaging. The Dior Addicts and the Dior lip glows are the same packaging as each other. This is one of the Dior Quints. This is denim. I really like the Dior Quints. Now, I don't have the one Quint that's on their new dress, which I've heard mixed reviews on. Like you either get like a good version or a bad version of it. So I wouldn't recommend that. But the other shades that Sephora has, I really like. So this one here is one of my favorites. I think it's so pretty. You got just those great colors. The formula is nice. I love having the 5 shades in here because it really does give you like a bunch of different options. You've got shimmers and mattes and satins and so forth. A lot of the palettes have a topper shade in there. So I think the Dior Quints are a great option. If you haven't tried those yet, I would definitely recommend picking one up. My favorite from the ones they have on there are probably going to be Tutu and Soft Cashmere, but this one here, Denim and New Look, are also on my list, but top 2 would be Tutu and Soft Cashmere. And another thing would be the Dior Forever Skin Veil Primer. I'm just about out of this, so I do plan on picking up a new tube of this. I don't wear it a ton during the summer, but I wear it a lot throughout the rest of the year. This is my favorite hydrating primer. If you have dry skin, this is great. It does have broad spectrum SPF 20, and I think it's fantastic. So this is my primer today. I haven't had any issues with any foundation I've used this primer with. You know, it works great. So it's one of the only moisturizing primers I've ever found that actually works without having like any sort of like oil breakthrough or being incompatible with half of my foundations, things like that. So I would highly, highly recommend this foundation. Now let's talk about Dyson for a second. So this is a great time to purchase Dyson. As you know, I've been loving the Dyson Airwrap. I do my hair like every day with it pretty much, and it takes me 3 minutes to do this. So I absolutely love it. Highly recommend getting it. It's going in and out of stock all the time, but they're making a new one. So at this point, I would say just go ahead and wait for the new version. I'm kind of kicking myself for buying it already. I should have waited, but I had no idea. So rumor is they'll be out in the US this summer. They are already available in Japan. And basically, one of the major benefits, yeah, you have some new attachments, but the Airwrap barrels currently on the Airwrap, for me, this is the biggest thing. The Airwrap barrel itself, you know, if you feed your hair into it, you've got one to go to the left and one to go to the right. And now in the new version, it's going to be one barrel, and you just like flip a button to determine the direction instead. So you don't actually have to take the barrel off, which, you know, for me, it's not a huge deal. They also have the flyaway attachment on the new Airwrap, and I have that on the hairdryer. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm okay with that. But depending on what you already have or don't have, you may just want to go ahead and wait for the new Airwrap. Next from Evian, these little spray bottles, I would recommend these. I've purchased the big sizes before. I'd recommend these little travel size ones instead because, you know, over time, the minerals can clog the nozzle, and then it's just kind of a pain to unclog it unless you're using it every single day. I don't use mine every day, but this is what I'll use to kind of like, if my face is a little too powdery, or if I want to refresh my skin throughout the day, or sometimes to like set my makeup. It's not really a setting spray, but you know, it's just water. But I like this because setting sprays in general, I don't like if they get into my hair or anything like that. I don't like the texture of them, and I typically don't like the smell. So I personally just use water when I use something. So I would recommend these little Evian travel size spray bottles. I love them. I love the little misters on these as well. Next up, Fable and Mane. I've only tried one product from them. This is the Saha Scalp Amla Soothing Serum. And I bought this because, as I mentioned, I have psoriasis, so my skin can get, you know, kind of itchy, dry, looks flaky. It can get, you know, sore. So I bought that. I think it did help with that. So I would recommend it, but I don't think it's the best. If you're looking for something, though, that's more along the natural lines, it's good. The scent is very natural, very herbal, but it just gets a little overwhelming for me. So I like it. I'm probably not going to repurchase it though, because I did find something better, but I do think it is a nice product. So depending on what you're looking for, you know, I've tried a lot of more natural hair serums and things over the years, and this is probably the best one I've tried that fits those criteria. So I did want to include it on the list today. Next, let's move on to Givenchy. And we've got a lot of things on the list. So Sephora is probably the place where I pick up the majority of my Givenchy items. So we have the Prisme Libre loose powders. I think these are great. Pressed powders are great as well, but they are not available in the US. I really love these. I think they are the best setting powder. This is my favorite loose powder. This one here is shade 1, Mousseline Pastel. And you know, this lid here is actually from one of the limited edition collections. The lids now, they're more like this, just a solid black. But when they do those decorative collections for the holidays, you can put the lids on any one that you want and so forth. So I have a few different versions that I kind of keep around. We also have the new Lip Perfecto liquid lip balms, and these are awesome. So I'm going to be picking up more of these, and you know, Givenchy actually just gifted me 2 of these. This one I purchased, so I haven't opened the ones they sent me yet, but I absolutely love this. This one here is shade 210 Pink Nude, and it's just like a gorgeous everyday shade. The glosses are hydrating. They actually do like remain hydrated on your lips even after the glossy finish has kind of worn away. They have some skincare ingredients and so forth in there, but you know, for me, it's all about the texture, which is, you know, there's a tiny bit of stickiness, but not, you know, it's not a sticky gloss. It's more so just that it's not going to be like oily feeling and slipping and sliding. So I think that's really great. There's some mintiness to this. It's not overly minty, but there is some minting. You can see kind of that plumping effect. The high shine effect on this, you know, really kind of highlights your lips. And I think the shades they have are great. So shades 1 and shades 11 are both pH changing. So just take note of that. This one here is not a pH changing shade here, but they do have a soft pink one and a berry pH changing shade. So definitely, you know, take a look at those. I would recommend them. And they also have a stick version. So these came out last year. This is the Lip Perfecto lip balm. And you can see this also has the marbled effect. This one here is shade 303. And these are more minty than the liquid for me. And I love them. They're sheer, they go on nicely. You know, obviously they're not going to be as intense as the lip glosses in the shine department because, you know, they're more solid. But I mean, they are comfortable. I wear them all the time. Let me show you my favorite one. I have 2 favorites. So this one here is 110, which is just like your everyday nude. And then I also really wear 102 a lot, which is more berry. So it's going to be more of a soft pinkish berry shade. Those are my 2 favorites of these. Some of my favorite lipsticks of all in any, you know, from any brand are these Givenchy Le Rouge Deep Velvets and Le Rouge Sheer Velvet lipsticks. So I wear these all the time. They are my favorite velvet or matte formula. Yeah, this one here is 14 Rose Boisé. Let's just kind of squeeze this one in here. So this is the Deep Velvet. And this one, you know, you can see how opaque it is. You can dab it on for something more sheer, but it's such a wonderful formula. These are a creamy velvet matte formula. They don't get dry. They don't feel powdery. They, you know, don't dry out my lips at all. I can wear them every day without any negative effects. I think they're fantastic. And the sheer ones are, you know, just as nice, but they're more sheer. So this here is Nude Fumé, and you can see this is kind of like a rosy mauve shade. I love these. So, I mean, definitely like favorites of all time lip products here. Next, we have the Givenchy foundations. We have the Skincare and Glow, which I wore a ton last summer. It gives your skin this really nice luminous look without having any of that pearlescence in the foundation. So this one is fantastic. I wear shade 1 and 95. And then they have the new matte foundation. So what I've been doing and what I have on now, I have the Dior primer underneath, which gives a little extra hydration, a little extra shine. And then I have a mix, a 50-50 mix of the matte and the glow, which is my favorite way to wear them. I love more of the satin finish that you get from mixing a matte and a glow foundation. So I think they're fantastic. Coverage is great. They last all day for me. They are fragranced. So, you know, definitely keep that in mind. If you're looking for something fragrance-free, Givenchy is not going to be the brand for you. Next, one of my favorite highlighters is the Givenchy Teint Couture Shimmer Powder. This is in the pink one. They don't have the pink one on Sephora. I actually can't find the pink one anywhere right now, but they do have the gold one. And I think the formula is great. So if the gold is your color, I would recommend it. And just a few more quick things. We have the lip liner. I'm picking up another one of these. This is the shade 8 Parma Silhouette. I just think it's a great everyday lip liner. I actually have this on today as well. I use this almost every day, so I'll be picking up a backup of that. Their Kohl waterproof eyeliners are great as well. These are really creamy and yet they stay put. And this one here is the lilac shade. So yeah, really like that. And then their brow products. I did not see the brow pencil on the website, but it's a powder pencil like the Gucci. This was actually around first though. And then the brow groom gel. So I like to pair the pencil with the gel, but this is a fantastic brow gel. I use this like every day right now. And yeah, absolutely love it. Next up, we have a few things from Gucci. The nail polishes. I actually think the Gucci nail polishes are fantastic. They last on me like for like a full week. So they're, you know, they perform really well. They're self-leveling. They've got some nice colors. So this blue one and the aqua one are the two I wear the most, plus the green. But I really like them. The white one can be a little bit harder to work with. So just a heads up on that. It's like, you know how like different colors can be a little bit harder to get quite right. That one can be a little streaky. You have to be a little more careful with application. But the other shades, I have all of them and I haven't had any issues with the rest of them. I think they're fantastic. So I would recommend those. Definitely recommend the bronzer. I wear shade 01 and I love this. You know, I don't wear bronzer every day, but this is my favorite bronzer. And I mean, I only need a tiny little bit. So I love the reddish tint that you have with the 01 shade because it looks more natural on my skin as somebody who does not tan. And, you know, I find their shade range a little bit hard to navigate, but if you can find your shade, I think this is like amazing. Now, Gucci also has, you know, lip liners, eyeliners. The eyeliners here, they're retractable. I think these are all okay. They're nice. You know, I like them. They're just not like, wow, this is the best product ever type thing, but they're good basics. So if you're interested in them, I think they're fine. I think the lip liner is just a nice basic lip liner. This is the shade Nude. The eyeliners are nice. They perform well. This one here is going to be the shade Amethyst. And I haven't had any issues with them. I have had a little bit of breakage though with my Gucci eyeliners, so just something to note there. But, you know, in general, I think they're good. And then the Gucci eyeshadow palette, I also think is just, you know, it's nice. It's not wow. But if you know somebody who's really into this packaging, it might be like a nice gift or something like that. The colors are nice. You know, the formula is okay. It's really about the packaging. I love the packaging, so I don't regret purchasing this. Formula wise though, there are other formulas I prefer, like for example, the Dior, but I think it is, you know, a nice package. So, and you can sort of add a little something in here, not really, but you know, perhaps they're going to be making new inserts or something for this to get different colors and so forth. I do really like the packaging on this. So, you know, if you're looking for a gift with gorgeous packaging, this really does kind of fit that bill. And of course, I'd recommend the Gucci eye pencil or the brow pencil. I wear this one a lot. I have two shades. I have shade 01 and 03. And as I mentioned, it's similar to the Givenchy brow pencil. I really like both of them, you know, and I think the spoolie on this is a really nice, substantial spoolie. So yeah, this here is shade 01. I would definitely recommend the brow pencil. I'm not a fan of the other brow pencil. I like the brow pencil that is the powder version here that you can sharpen. They also have a retractable version, which is for me. Now moving on to Guerlain. First, let me talk a little bit about the hair serum. So I've been using the hair serum. As I mentioned, I have psoriasis, so I often get like flakiness, specifically right here, like this whole part of my face. And my scalp gets really red here. And you can see it's still a little bit red, you know, it's like pinkish, but it's not like flaky or anything. I had a flare up just recently, like about a week, maybe 7 to 10 days ago. And it was to the point where I was going to use my steroid prescription treatment on it, but I used the Guerlain hair serum instead. And I'm not even joking, like massaging that in, it made such a difference. I've been kind of on the fence about this serum because the directions are to use like 2 to 3 pipettefuls all over your head, you know, massage it in, and then you can style your hair as normal. Or you can do this before bed, leave it overnight. But I had watched something on Instagram that Guerlain had put out, and they said to use only 3 drops and then style your hair as usual. So I've been trying the different methods. I like to use just a few drops specifically here, like at night before bed, just put on a couple drops. And once in a while, I'll take some serums and kind of massage it into my whole head. But I'm not using a ton of product. It's a very expensive serum. So I wanted to see whether or not it'd be worth it to just use small amounts. And I actually prefer using small amounts better. If you're using a bunch, like pipettefuls, and then you're styling your hair and going out, I find it can be a little like crunchy as it dries. But if you're using it in smaller amounts and it's really dispersed well, no issues. And my hair does not look greasy or oily. I can even just style it for the next day, you know, if I put it in overnight. Even if I put in a couple pipettefuls, provided that it's really dispersed well. So I'm actually really enjoying the Guerlain hair serum, and I'm very impressed with how it's performed. So when I was talking about the Fable and Mane serum, I said I found something better. This is that product that I was talking about. This is better, in my opinion. I'm really happy with this serum. Also from Guerlain, I would definitely recommend the Rouge G lipstick line. I really like their satin lipsticks. This is the sheer lipstick that comes like this. They're okay. I think the sheer ones are nice, but I've found better things. But their satin formula and their velvet formula are really nice. So I would recommend those. And you can see you get so many different cases you can choose from. You do buy the cases separately. So this is how the lipstick comes, and it comes with a little black cap here. So, you know, you can use it without the case if you want, but the cases are reusable. You mix and match. You've got a mirror inside, and this one here is the black velvet. So they have some fabric ones, they have some jewel ones, you know, so depending on your lifestyle, definitely, you know, determine whether you want something fabric or something that's easier to clean. But I think these are fantastic, and this is one of my favorite cases. Like, I love this. I picked up all of the ones in these like gemstones, and if you put this, like I put this on my desk, and when the light hits it from the window, the sun, it's just like the shine is just incredible. So I really like these. And yeah, so formula wise though, the velvets and the satins are my favorite in the Rouge G. One of my favorite lipsticks are the Guerlain Kiss Kiss Shine Bloom lipsticks. So this one here is $7.75 Poppy Kiss, and I love these. These are one of those like lip balm lipsticks. So that's Poppy Kiss down here. And I find them to be very comfortable. They are hydrating on the lips. They have a fantastic color range. They've got cool shades, warm shades, light, dark. So they did a really excellent job on the range. They are fragranced. I personally don't mind the fragrance at all. It's a floral vanilla scent. And yeah, this is one of my favorite lipstick formulas. So I love these. I have a video swatching a whole bunch of these, so definitely check that out if you're interested in these. I'm also really enjoying the new bronzer from Guerlain. So this will be my number 2 bronzer, first being Gucci, then we have the Terracotta Light, and they have 6 shades. So it's 3 different intensities, and then there's a cool and a warm version for each. This one here is the light cool, so 00. And you can see this is going to be warmer than the Gucci. So I still prefer the Gucci color a little bit more, but I really like the formula of this, the finish of this, and you can see there's a little bit of like a highlighting shimmery shade in here as well. So I just think it's a really great product. Fragrance wise, one of my favorite summertime fragrances is in the Aqua Allegorias from Guerlain, the Mandarin Basilic. And I would definitely recommend that. I really love that. And basically everybody I've introduced that to ends up loving that one. So it's really great. It's a light, fresh scent. And yeah, that's a great one. Another one of the Aqua Allegoria scents that I like that Sephora has in stock is the Peregrinita. I've only used a sample of that, but I would like to get a bigger version of that one at some point. Now, these fragrances, 20% off is fine, but I think you can find them for like better deals sometimes. So just, keep an eye out if you are interested in those. I know the Mandarin Basilic last year during the Nordstrom anniversary event, the sale, they had like a gift set that was a better deal. So, just heads up. Next, Hourglass. These are controversial shadows. Yeah, they're really expensive. The packaging is terrible, but I really like them. So specifically this shade here, which is Bid, this is my favorite. I think the formula on these is great. I haven't had issues with the shades I've picked up. This Bid shade here, you can see it's like a grayish, greenish, olive, khaki, kind of all mixed together. And there's a little bit of shimmer in there. So I absolutely love it. So if you can get past the price and the packaging, I think it's a really great option. I also like the Vanish Blush Sticks. So these are the Vanish Blush Sticks. This one here is Devoted. And I think these are a nice product. So here it is. It blends out nicely. Look at that. How softly you can get that buffed out. And they last really well. So I think these are a nice product as well. And then the Scattered Lights eyeshadows I think are really great. This one here is the shade Vivid. I love the formula on these. They have a great amount of shimmer in them as well. So I really like them. And I didn't try them until like last summer. And yeah, I really loving these. I can't believe I waited so long to try them, but look at that sheen. Really great product if you haven't tried them yet. Next from Ilia, I have 2 products here. This is the Balmy Lip Tint. And this one here is in the shade Lullaby. And I think this is a really nice, like sheer, more lip balm type product. Especially if you're looking for something more natural. It has like a natural mint scent to it, like the herbal mint, not, like mint gum that's more synthetic. And then, so I like that, but what I love are these balmy glosses. So I have a couple of these. Only You, I really love. I'm gonna have to get a new version of that because I'm about out of that. And then this shade is the one I picked up most recently. This one here is Maybe Violet. And look at this shade. Wow, isn't that pretty? So I wear these a lot, and yeah, they're just great ones to be able to toss in your purse, have around, and I love the shades. So I think these are really great. Next, K18. So this is the hair mask. That's the only product they have on Sephora's website. And I picked up a couple of bottles of that. I've been really enjoying it. So, and I started using it on my kids' hair as well. So basically what you do is you wash your hair with shampoo, towel dry it, then you put in this product, you leave it in. It has to be in at least 4 minutes before you do any like styling of it. So I'll wash my hair, and then I put that in, comb it through, and then I just let it air dry. And you do that, the first 4 shampoos, and then you do that like every so often. So yeah, I mean, basically it's supposed to heal your hair. It has a new peptide complex in there and so forth. I believe it's patented, and I've been enjoying it. So yeah, I would recommend that. Try a bottle of it. And then Koh Gen Do, they don't have a ton of Koh Gen Do on Sephora, but the Aqua foundation. It's one of my go-to foundations for the summer. And I mean, you can see how much I used last summer from this one. So I would definitely recommend it. I wear shade 012. It's one of my favorite foundations of all time. Check out the foundation summation video if you haven't seen that yet. It's fantastic. Laura Mercier. I actually don't have very much from the brand, but I'm interested in trying her new cream blushes. They're like a tinted skin tint blush, and the powder blushes, which I've always heard so much about. So those are like a maybe on my wish list. And then the Caviar Sticks are always a classic eye stick if you're looking for something like that. So those are always nice. Now Lila B, that's a brand I have not tried very much from. I think the lip oil glosses are nice. They have like a little duo set that I believe they're minis. That looks like a good way to try them if you're interested. So I think those are really nice, provided you can find colors you like. They do have a very limited range. So yeah, but I like those. The LYS, I have not tried anything from that brand yet. So if you have, let me know your recommendations down below. I might try some of it. I know they've released some new blush shades recently, and I've always heard very good things about their cream blushes. And then we have Makeup by Mario. This brand, I have to say, has been like hit or miss for me, kind of like drastic extremes. The cream blushes, the powder blushes are great. The cream blushes are fantastic. The lip pencils, I really like those. I do plan on picking up a couple more shades of those. The highlighter in Opal is amazing. The lip creams I haven't tried yet. Those are the new liquid matte lipstick. I didn't like the actual lipstick in the bullet. I have those, and let me show you. All right, so these are the lipsticks that I've tried. These I think are not great, so I would pass on these. But the lip creams, I've heard, that those are better. So I haven't tried them, considering trying them, not really sure. But these cream blushes, I think are, incredible. Definitely try them out, especially if you're somebody who has not really used cream blush much and you are looking for something really easy to use. So this is great. You've got a brush on this side. This actually clips out so you can go and you can clean it. And I just think it's a really great product. So I have this on today. Actually, I have it I'm wearing this one here, Dusty Rose. And let's see here, I'll put a little bit here. So that's the shade I have on, and it just blends out beautifully. And yeah, I think it's great. Now, the only thing is with the packaging, sometimes like if you're just turning this white part, it's not turning. I've seen people have issues and complain about the packaging. Turn the black part. I haven't had any issues turning the black part, but I have seen people complain that theirs isn't moving by turning just the white part. And that's just the cap here to the brush. So you're just spinning the cap essentially. So just make sure that you do that if you're having issues. And then this is the highlighter I like. So I think all of the highlighters are a little golden, except this one. So this one's Opal, it's white. There is a little bit of like a white golden effect to it, but not like the others. The others are definitely much more yellow. The Opal though, I think is great. And it's a really silky formula. It goes on beautifully. It's one of my most used highlighters. Next we have Merit. So these are the Merit lip oils or glosses. I think these are really nice. So I think they're worth trying. I really like their new lipsticks. I think their new lipsticks are fantastic. I'm wearing one today in the shade Baby. I do have a lip gloss on top, but this is Baby here. And look at that. It's just so nice. I really like the formula of these. And the packaging is nice. So I would recommend these. I actually really like their complexion stick as well, but the issue is like it kind of breaks in the packaging or it flies out. Like that's what happened to mine as it got a little bit older. The product shrinks as it dries. It came out of the holder, and so I don't have it anymore because it got like covered in like rug hair. So yeah, I really like that, but that's the issue with it. And I think their blushes are really nice. So I would definitely recommend their blushes as well. Natasha Denona, we're just going to go through this quickly. I'm sure you guys have seen these all before, but the new pastel palette, I absolutely love this. Would definitely recommend picking that up. Other palettes I'd recommend would be the Glam palette, the Retro palette, The mini retro, she does have the 28 pan in the blue purple on the website or on the Sephora site. I really like that one. The mini Zendo, the mini gold. I don't have all of her palettes, but of the ones I have, those are my favorites that are available here. And then the new I Need a Rose lipsticks. I think those are really nice. They are not my favorite lipstick though, so if you're looking for the best, I would look at the Givenchy or the Guerlain ones that we talked about, these Merit ones. So they're actually kind of more towards the bottom of my list of likes for the Sephora sale. So just a heads up there, but I think they are a really nice lip product. They run a bit warmer than you might think. Next we have the hair care brand Way. And this is a sample I have of one of their hair oils. I'm actually confused because I have another sample of it where it's clear. So I'm not sure what the difference is, but I do like it. But the thing that I'd like to recommend from them is their detangling leave-in conditioning spray. So I actually use that on my kids all the time because their hair's thicker. I have very fine hair, so I don't really need a leave-in conditioner. But my kids' hair, they have much thicker hair and it gets tangled very easily, you know, like all little kids. And I just find this is the best like leave-in conditioner we've ever used because it does not make their hair greasy or weigh it down. And yet it really does allow me to get that comb or that brush through their hair, even when they've got like massive knots. So I always buy the big bottle of that during the sale and it lasts a while. You don't need a ton of it. So, yeah, I go through maybe 1 to 2 bottles a year on both of like total for both of their heads. So yeah, I would definitely recommend that. Pat McGrath, I would have to say I'd recommend purchasing from her website over the Sephora site because she has better sales. However, if you're purchasing from Sephora, I think her blushes are great. The under eye setting powder is fantastic. So this is her, I have the shade Light, and I think this is one of the best under eye powders. It comes in different shades, so you can get one suitable for your own skin tone, but this I think is just, it's really nice. You just need the tiniest bit. So I think that's great. I also really like her concealer, but you do want to use just the tiniest bit of the concealer. A little bit goes a long way. If you use too much, it's not going to look good. You want to go in with really light layers. So I think that's fantastic. Palette wise, what's available on Sephora, the Subliminal palette is my favorite Pat McGrath palette. I love her lip pencils. They are some of my go-to everyday lip pencils. Half Naked is this one here. I use this and Done Undone and the Givenchy. Those are probably my most used. So that's right here. Let's see if we can get another swatch here. So that's Half Naked, and it's just like a light pinky nude, and it's just an everyday liner for me. I absolutely love it. Other palettes though, by the way, are Midnight Sun and the Interstellar Icon, which is on there. Lip products, I have to say, Pat McGrath lip products, I find her packaging can get really gummy. As I get older, it gets harder to turn. Her newer ones are a bit better. This is the Dark Romance Balm, which I really like this color. It's like the sheer purpley berry shade, and there's like some shimmer in there. This is one I really like. And then I also like the Divinyl Lip Shine products. These are a high shine lip balm lipstick hybrid. And let's go ahead and put this one here. This one here is Bella Moore. And yeah, I really like these. So I haven't tried her brand new satin lipsticks that came out with the Bridgerton collection, but I like these better than her other lipstick formulas that have been out. And a new line to Sephora is called Ranavat, and I haven't tried anything from them. And reviews on Sephora look good. As we know, that's not always, accurate, but they have this hydrating jasmine mist that I'd like to try. So if you've tried anything from there, please let me know what you think of the brand. I think, it's really intriguing to me. And then Rare Beauty is another brand I haven't really tried anything from. So let me know if you are interested in seeing anything from Rare Beauty from me. I've heard good things about the blushes, and yeah, I think is it the blushes that just recently came out in new shades? Those looked really pretty. So I almost picked them up, but I haven't yet. So they're maybe for me. And then for Rose Inc., we have the blushes. They have new lipsticks, which I think they say coming soon on the website, but I think they're not coming till the end of the month. So I just ordered those from the Rose Inc website though, so we'll see how those are. And then the Rose Inc concealer I think is really nice. It's a nice hydrating creamy concealer. So let me show you the blushes though. These are the blushes. So you can get them in this packaging or you can buy just the refill, but they're a really great like creamy cheek product. This one here is Ophelia, and I really like her blushes. So these are really nice, and I would definitely recommend those. Tatcha, you know, I have not used much from Tatcha before. I purchased the new sunscreen from the Tatcha website for 20% off. So if you don't have Rouge at Sephora, you may want to look at that as well. But, you know, it's very expensive for what you get. It's a small bottle of the sunscreen, but I have to say I really like how it feels on my skin. One of the issues with sunscreens, especially mineral sunscreens, is, you know, they can be really thick or they leave that white cast or they're not really all that compatible with makeup. And this is kind of like a nice version of all of those. So I'm really enjoying it. I have read that there are cheaper alternatives. I typically buy a lot of like Asian sunscreens, Korean and Japanese sunscreens, and I usually, you know, like I'll purchase them from like Yes Style or something like that. And like one of my favorites is Anessa. So this has more of that thinner, like serum-like style. You want to shake the container. You can hear the ball rattling in there. And, you know, yeah, you can probably find something less expensive. However, I really like it. So for me, it's more about what I'm going to use and making sure I use it consistently. So if it's a nice formulation, I'm more likely to use it on a regular basis and use it all the way up than I am with something that's just okay. So I'm really enjoying the Tatcha sunscreen so far. Moving on to Tom Ford. Actually on my eyes today, I have one of the new quads. This is the Rose Topaz in the creme formula. And I really like these. I think they are great for every day. I think the formula is fantastic. And, you know, it's not your traditional cream. It's like a drier cream kind of formula, but I think they're really nice. I love the wet and dry formulas as well, like Nude Dip. So I would definitely recommend those types of quads. Again, a lot of people have been able to find Tom Ford cheaper at cosmetic company outlets. I don't have one of those near me. But you know, if you do, you might want to check there before purchasing anything from another site. Although I don't know, like I don't have one, so I don't know how old the product is or anything like that. So I can't say, oh, go get it there because it's cheaper for sure, because if it's really old, I'd rather just pay the extra price personally and get something fresh. So I don't know that situation, but just a heads up that you can get those cheaper. I'm also loving the Tom Ford lip glosses. Again, Tom Ford products in general can be found cheaper at other places as well, but overall, I think it's still decent. This one here is Honey Coral, which is one of the newer shades. And, you know, I think the name is totally inaccurate. It's really more of a soft, you know, pinky shade, pinky berry almost. I really like these, so I would recommend these. I also really like the lipsticks. I love the shades that they came back out with, like Bad Lieutenant, Sugar Glider, and so forth. So I actually keep these right here in front of me because I wear them so frequently. Let's see here if we can. This one here is Bad Lieutenant. So I'm really enjoying the lipsticks as well. I don't love his matte lipsticks usually, but I like his satin ones. I also really like the Tom Ford blush duos. You know, when they first came out, I was like, there's no way these are going to be that great. They're really expensive for what you get, but I really like them. So they've got this blurring effect and everything on the cheeks. So I think particularly for aging skin, if you're starting to get wrinkles, like I'm starting to get, I'm 40, and I just think that they work really well, particularly on more mature skin because they have that blurring effect in them as well. So I think the blushes are really great. I also like the Platinum Cream Eyeshadow. I think that's like a classic. And the bronzer in Terra is another classic. And I almost forgot, the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel has been restocking. It's been going in and out of stock on Sephora and Beautylish. So if your shade is available, I'd pick it up. Moving on to Valentino. I have not tried much from this brand. I've only tried the matte lipstick so far, the new nude shades in particular, And the nude shades are now available at Sephora. This one here is my favorite, 123R, and I wear this one a lot. So you can see it's that beautiful, like pinky nude kind of shade. But I really love all of the ones in the new nude collection that I picked up. And yeah, I want to try more from the line. So give me your recommendations down below, please. Viseart, they don't have that much from Viseart on Sephora website, and I can't tell if they're leaving. So, you know, if there's something there that you have been interested in, might be a good time. But honestly, I think Viseart and Muse Beauty Pro usually have better deals during the summer. So I would just wait for those for their summer sales instead, personally, especially since I'm not sure how old the stock is on Sephora, because I haven't seen anything new added to it in a while. Moving on, Westman Atelier, the only stick foundation that I really like is the Westman Atelier stick foundation. I wear shade N, and that's N for neutral. And I just think this is a really great product, and you can use it as a concealer, as a foundation, whatever. It blends out beautifully. You can build it up to medium coverage, but you know, it's such a great versatile product, and it works well for me during the summer as well, which is when, you know, it's hot and sweaty. You know, a lot of times stick foundations are just going to get greasier or kind of melt off. This one holds up really well for me. So they have some mini sets on Sephora that I think are really great ways to try the brand if you haven't yet. I think those are great. They typically have like one of the lit up highlighting sticks and like a couple blushes. Those are really great. I love the cream blushes. The lit up sticks I think are nice for that kind of product. They're just not my favorite. So, you know, like I like them, but I don't love them. But the blush sticks I think are great. The super loaded tinted highlighter I think is great. I'm actually wearing this one here. This is the Peau de Rose. I have two of them. I have the Peau de Rose and the Peau de Pêche, and I really like both of them. And you can see it's like creamy, it's silky, there's some sheen to it, but it's pigmented enough that you can use these just as blush as well. So I really like these. I think they are great. Brush wise, I think most of the brushes, I wouldn't say that they're necessary, but if you're looking at them, I think the Baby Blender is a nice brush. So here's the Baby Blender. It's intended for, you know, cream blush, but I think it's also really great for like concealer and so forth. And I really like the eye brushes because these are just so versatile. You have this more like stippling style rounded brush that works well in the crease, kind of buffing things out. Then you have this more arrowhead shape with a point. It works great for liner, and you know, it's flat shader style, gets in the corner. If you're traveling, I mean, you really only need these two eye brushes. So I think it's really great in that sense. But, you know, yeah, so I would recommend these three brushes out of the ones in her line. The blender brush I really like as well, but the Chantecaille has one that's very similar. So here's the Westman Atelier blender. Here's the Chantecaille Buff and Blur. They're both synthetic brushes. You can see they're about the same size, brush size and so forth. And the flexibility and everything is about the same. But this is way cheaper, especially if you get it during, you know, one of the sales. So I would recommend this one over this because it's way more pricey. And then the Westman Atelier eyeshadows, I have all three of them. I don't love the formula, but I do really like the newest Rendezvous set with the green and the pink. It's kind of like the Natasha Denona mini retro colors. I do tend to use this one quite a bit. So I would say that, you know, this one for me would be worth it because I do like to use this. But I do find that the formula will crease over time. This one does hold up better for me than the others. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I do find that this one doesn't crease quite as much. And I like the colors of this one. So if you really wanted to get one of her eyeshadow sets, would be the one I'd recommend. Is it worth the money? In my opinion, probably not. And another product from Westman Atelier I'm really liking are the Squeaky Clean lip balms, liquid lip balms. So this is the shade Garçon. This is what I have on top of the Merit lipstick. So let's put that right here so you can kind of see how those go together. And yeah, I really like this. It's just you know, a night. It's a slightly sticky, but not really sticky. And it kind of stays put. It's nice and shiny. So these are nice. I like these. All right, and then last up, Sephora, the Sephora brand. So I would actually recommend some of the Sephora kits. So they have some good deals. They just released this week some new sets, like the Clean Me Up Clean Makeup set. This looks pretty good. You get a couple full-size products, you get some sample products in here. So like you get like one of the Merit products in here, full size, and it's just a good way to try everything. So I think that's great, especially if you get like the 20% off on the set price, then it's essentially paying for one of the full-size products, but you're getting all these other things for free. So that's how I like to think of the sets. I think the fragrance sets are a good deal if you're interested in those fragrances, because they do have, you know, a coupon for a full size in a lot of these sets. So that's good. They have a Plump and Hydrate kit. It's with lip products. That looks pretty good. That's $30. So it has full sizes of the NARS Afterglow Lip Balm and in Dolce Vita, and the Rose Ink Lip Sculpt. So the Rose Ink Lip Sculpts, let me show you those. These are the lip sculpts. They're a lip crayon. I think these are okay. So, you know, to get it as part of the set, I think that would be worth it. So this is it. It's a nice product. I find them just to be a little bit drying on a daily use, but I think it's nice for once in a while. This one here is called Abstraction. So yeah, you know, if you were getting it as part of the set, I think that's a great way to try it out and try out those other things. So I think that's a really good one. They usually have a sun care set that comes out around this time every year. I haven't seen that one yet, but this is always a great time to pick it up if it becomes available. So those will be my recommendations for the sale. Please let me know your thoughts on what you're planning on picking up and anything you'd like to see me pick up. And I will see you very soon. So have a great day, happy shopping, and I will, you know, have everything linked on my shop list. So just follow the link down below in the description box, and that'll take you to the list, and I'll have some notes on the products and, you know, my favorite shades and things like that in there as well. So it's like a one-stop shopping guide. So check it out. And thanks so much. I'll see you very soon. Have a great day and stay safe and healthy.